So how's that for some breaking news here, BKM?
Yo! What's the deal? Fuck what I had to do. Streaming is more important. What up, Jonathan? How are you, bro? Doing well. Let me turn this down. That's wild. Yeah, a lot of what Kerwin was talking about, he was mentioning his setup, the same setup that I take off the VWAP, and I'm like, huh, I never saw it that way, in the way that he was explaining it, and it made a lot of sense. I'm like, that it makes sense why I noticed it happening, and I just take the entry, but I never looked into the deeper into it. And he goes much deeper into it, and like when he was like, oh, I have like 5 to 7 pip stops, and I'm like, well, it's the same kind of concept that I use where I say if there's a 90% probability price is going to come back to my first entry wherever I see my setup at. Knowing that there is a 90% probability of something happening because you've seen it in your data, you can say, oh shit, every time I take this setup, I never see drawdown. It's just instant profit. So I can have the smallest amount of risk on the table and capitalize the move, because every time I get into this entry type, it just never goes into drawdown. It's just instant profit. So it makes sense to have a 3 pip stop, because if it's not instant profit, then it's not the setup. Makes a lot of sense.
Crazy to me is those $5 and $10 levels he was talking about, like those round.
Yeah.
Right where you're, the range that you're in.
That's why I marked this high here at 40, which is a round number, and price wicked it within the tick. It was like it was 1 tick away from tipping it, and you're like, why does price bounce exactly off the round number? It just it's just one of those things. Like when I know that there's a high probability of my trade going in a certain direction, or I know that, like when he was telling Wix, when Wix got in the trade, he was like, oh, you're gonna hold for like 30 to 40 pips, right? And Wix is like, no, I'm gonna go break even here. And the guy was like, well, because technically when you have a certain kind of setup, the push isn't for 10 pips. The push is gonna be for much more. So managing at 10 pips, you're not giving the setup the full breathing room that it needs. So like he posted a trade today. I started following that. He posted a trade today where he could have gone break even anywhere and secured partials anywhere, but the trade was like, he was like an entry here and it ran all the way down. It was like no drawdown, just instant profit. And then he takes partials on the way through, but he doesn't go break even at 10. He goes break even much further when you start tapping levels or giving you support or resistance on the 1 minute as it's driving. I think if he took an entry here, I understood he would take like a partial here. He would wait for this to happen.
that's what was crazy to me. It's just how it followed those levels so well. I wondered if that works for other things besides the gold too, but I don't know what those levels would be.
Just round psychological numbers. This could be a fake out here. I was trying to look for a buy stop on the rebreak of the highs, but I barely have any wicks here. But if it is super, super bullish, it's not going to come down to create those wicks. This is a 4-hour level that I have here. So I want to see us break above it, because I could have taken a buy stop to catch that little push. We have like 13 pips before any levels. But I kind of want to see us take out the previous daily high and start rejecting from somewhere here so I can take sells down. It's like what I said yesterday when I was like, I'd rather just wait for price to hit my level so that I can take sells down. Because the buy setups weren't playing out. Yesterday, all the buy setups that were playing out were Kerwin's setup. All like the no bottom wicks, or it was straight driving up without the bottom wicks. It was all the setups that he was talking about, where he's like, when price has chosen its direction, you're most likely not going to get those bottom wicks. And because price has chosen those directions and you're not getting those bottom wicks, you can still anticipate an entry with those super, super tight stops, knowing that it's probably not going to give you that bottom wick on that closure. So once you enter, it's like instant profit, straight push up, never coming down for that bottom wick. Makes a lot of sense. That's why Wicks asked him, can you enter before, like as it closes, and like not wait for the wick or a push, just before it closes, anticipating the next candle to drive without a bottom wick? And he's like, yes, I do it often. Where was last night? 625. Or 625 last night.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, when my buy setups are failing here, where's 6 o'clock? This is 9 o'clock. Was this yesterday?
No, I think you're on July 2nd.
Hey, Lil West, what up, big dog? Yeah. See, I was gonna say something on stream, but I didn't have enough time to get to the Discord. But when someone actually trades, when they actually know what they're talking about and they actually do it for real, what they say makes sense. And it starts to open your eyes and you start to see things that actually make sense. But like, I don't want to talk shit, bro, but like, I watched this Mamba FX video today, bro, and I was like, you can tell.
Welcome.
Where was it? He was like, he first said in the 30 seconds he's looking for a breakout above this channel, and then he takes a sell as soon as it breaks the low here, going to completely opposite of what he says. And then here, if you just watch the video, look at these times, a minute and a half. Here he starts saying, yeah, I took a sell off based off this I closed based off this level of support and resistance. Actually, there's neither a support nor a resistance there. I just closed because I wanted to close. And I'm just like, you're just like rambling, bro. You're just talking gibberish to get some watch time on a fucking you were saying I'm gonna take buys once we break above this high. Within 30 seconds the candle flips bearish and you take sells, telling everybody, yeah, I'm gonna take buys, and then you take sells, and then you close, and yeah, I closed because we tapped this level of support and or resistance. Actually, it was neither. Oh man, that shit gave me a headache. Yo, I watched another video of him explaining a trade, and I was like, yeah, someone sent you that signal, bro. Homie met a trader that can actually trade, and he said, yo, let me market your signals. You don't want to be on camera? Let me pay you. I'll be on camera. I'll pretend.
But yeah, and then those levels being support resistance for gold just hit I mean, you were talking about the daily high right there. I think it was like 33.40, if I remember whatever number you're at.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it anyways.
Round psychological number off by 1 pip. So he was saying that he wants to see this level get taken out. He says that normally if it's a round number, it'll get taken out by 10, 20 pips. And then it'll start reversing. And
then at $5 from there, that's like a minor level. So if that's where it'll take profit, like, you know, if you close partials there and then let it run.
yeah, my boy trades round psychological numbers as well. He puts like his entries a lot of the time at round numbers. I never thought much of it. Cause like I'm rarely ever looking at price. I'm looking at candles and levels. But then adding price in there just makes it, you're like, holy shit, that number means something, so maybe that level is more important.
Yeah, same.
See, we're at a $5 level here. So if we break these highs, like, that's why I'm like iffy about my buy stop. Not only is it a $5 level, it's a 4-hour resistance. But it also aligns with the daily support. So it's like a iffy level. That's why we're getting this chop here. Want to see what happens.
Well, and then too, you would get a candle on the 1 minute, a break, closure, and then the next 1 minute would close, creating support right at that level, and then you knew that you could take it from there as support.
See what we do here. Let's go back full screen. Because without this daily bottom wick, we're going to need a bottom wick. But are we coming up to grab orders before coming back down to grab that bottom wick? And if so, where are we going to bounce? So I'm looking like this daily, bounce off these levels down here. So if this one's going to grab orders, maybe we'll bounce off these levels up here before coming down. So I can take buys to the daily high, knowing that we're probably going to break that before grabbing orders and coming down. But I would need to see some type of like closure above here, because this is a 4-hour level. So if we can get like an impulse leg up, back down, closing, so respecting, and then pushing up again, re-break of the high for the fill of the wick here. We got 50 pips here, so like anywhere here is break even. Whoa, there it goes. It's like understanding that we need liquidity before coming down. Is this going to be the same kind of thing as yesterday?
Well, that clears all out the orders in that range too until you hit that level, and then that level either acts as support or acts as resistance.
This is our first breakout to the upside of the night. I need extra confirmation, understanding that we have no bottom wick here. So this was the opening candle. We money printed off the daily low and bounced off again. Maybe we don't need a bottom wick. We got a 15-minute closure any minute now. I'm gonna have a buy stop. Break of the daily high. Give it a few pips. We form resistance here. $30 seconds here. What does XAUUSD look like? I'm gonna delete this buy stop. Price looks different here on XAU. Here we close above on XAU, we didn't. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna leave the buy stop. Fifteen minutes for this hourly closure. Yeah, it's not driving. Let's wait for this hourly closure. 9 minutes. No problem. I was really looking for that push the first half of the 15-minute candle. It's like what he was saying, like the first couple of minutes of the 5-minute candle, it pulls back, and the next half it drives. If the next half is starting to pull back, then you're like, oh shit, that's not the move.
Yeah, him saying that reminded me. I forget who said it, but like on an hourly candle, the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes are
Don.
in the volume. Was that Don?
Yeah, he said Don and Wicks usually say the last 15 minutes of the candle is a pullback for the higher time frame, because if the hourly is going to close and you want that wick fill, it needs to give you that wick, so it's gonna pull back for that 15-minute time frame to then give you the bottom wick on the next candle before the flip. So like, because the last 15 minutes weren't, because it wasn't driving like immediately, it should have flipped. That 15 should have flipped. I took my buy stops off because I'm like, damn, this hourly last 15-minute might pull back if it's not going to start driving now on this 30-minute candle. What was it? On the on future on Forex, on the XAU side, we have a bottom wick on the daily, and it looks like the 4-hour was about to flip bullish. Round number, we broke it 10 pips and then we deleted. If we delete this whole range, I will be taking sells in the rebreak of this low. Damn, is it gonna happen the last bit of the hourly? Good. That was some last minute volume that just drove the entire session. 3 minutes here.
It breaks that support. It's got some clean traffic down.
Mm-hmm. See what happens here. Be patient. We close back in range. Hourly's coming down. No. We start coming down here, I'm gonna have a sell stop. I'm gonna have a sell stop at the break of this low. That's the break of the hourly low. Yeah, and the previous hourly. If we form a support here on the 5, I don't think I'm gonna stay in. think I'm gonna delete it. Yeah, I'm deleting this. More waiting.
Like 75 pips below London. Might have a buy stop on the break of the high. You have some equal highs here, exact same level.
We flip bullish and break that, I think we're gonna pop pretty decent.
Yeah, especially since it went down into that range and then came back up and put out one support and go. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Form some support here on the 1 minute and then flip bullish. If this 15 starts to break the low, I'm deleting the buy stop. A little slow tonight. We just had a 5-minute closure. Bearish. We formed support here though on the 1 minute. I'm in there. Yeah, if we break the daily low, I'm out of there. I'm expecting somewhere to be around this level. This is the official break. You like pina coladas? Getting lost in the rain.
Been saying that quite a bit.
Damn. On spot gold, this is a 4-hour flip. 4 hour should be nice. If it re-breaks that 4-hour low, that's gone to the downside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on spot, it's a 4-hour flip bullish. After creating a daily low already. So here, when we created the low, no bottom wick, but then that 15-minute came back, grabbed the wick at the open, and then pushed forward, that was spot creating the bottom wick for the daily. I guess spot's open was later, and it didn't catch the push up or the same opening as futures.
Crazy how different those two can be.
$15 closure bullish out of the range, coming down. If this flips bullish, everything looks Gucci. A little quiet today.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's rewatching the stream from earlier. I was watching his Instagram videos and his news trades are insane.
Really.
That's what decades of experience in the market is. He's been trading with Raja since the beginning of Raja Banks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's inspiring too. It's like keep at it
Mm-hmm.
over time. Learn little by little.
It's not driving now. We might have been faked out here. It's forming support here. So let's see what it do. What up, Floyd? Mayweather 50-0 in this bitch. We should get a flip here. Money printer off the VWAP. It would be nice. I am gonna wear all black. Rejected the highs here. Moving my stop loss underneath the VWAP here. Now that we bounced up, we flipped off the 5-minute. There should be no reason why this comes back down.
You know what's crazy? For all the people that said,
Oh, that John Jones and McGregor could fight?
yeah, it's on the same card.
Oh, but listen, McGregor announced a new tournament that they're doing, a $25 million tournament, all weight classes against each other to see who the real baddest man is. All weight classes against each other, bare knuckle boxing, and it's like a fucking tournament round with brackets and everything. 25 million to the champion. Bro, we're gonna find out what weight class really is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. I called it at 170. I said I think 170 motherfuckers have the power to knock out the 200-pound guys, and they also have the stamina to last. I don't think the smaller 130s can last with the 170s, and the 130s are gonna get knocked out if they get paired up with the 200-pounders.
Yes and no, because I mean it depends how effective they are, you know, and how much movement. Because if a smaller guy can stay away, you know, I have that same exact mouse, but for my job, and I got it for free.
This one?
Well, the brand, it's like what's it called?
I got it every time I go to
It's
Walmart.
like a circle, right?
Yeah, I go to Walmart every like twice a week, and I look at their electronics section, and I look at the same shit over and over and over again, because a lot of the times, bro, believe it or not, I'm also break even here. A lot of the times, bro, believe it or not, the stuff that they have there, they'll start putting it on sale. They'll start putting it on sale, and you'll be looking at this mouse that was $80, and now it's on sale for $50. It's $40 off. You go on Amazon, and it's still not that same price on Amazon anywhere else. That's how I got this mouse. That's how I got this thing off of. This thing used to be $15 or $16 or $20 because it's leather, and they had it on sale for like $6 on clearance one day. And it's just being patient and waiting. I'm gonna sell one here at 15 pips, close like 30% of the position. I'm leaving two running. Just got some commissions back. I took a break even earlier, and if this would hit break even, that would cost me like 5 pips. So I just secured those 5 pips in commissions. Because if this hits for the full TP, that's Gucci. I'm thinking we should sweep the previous daily high. before coming back down. If this re-breaks the high, there's no shot this comes down. Oh look, we didn't re-break the high. It's like that guy said, it's one of those trades. If it's going to drive, this will not come back to break even and it'll just continue straight up. Once you form that first little support, let's make this a support, flip up, break, make it a support. But if not, if it's a resistance, then it'll start to come back down and it can drive later and we can wait for the push later. I can't wait to go to the fight, bro. It's gonna be fucking crazy. It's gonna be 6 of us.
That the one y'all were talking about yesterday at the Hard Rock Cafe?
Yeah. Looking at this guy's Instagram page, I think he would be taking buys on the next candle if it closes above. His setups are just like clean. See, and it's like when you listen to him speak, it's not that you go and change your strategy. You just absorb the knowledge and the way he analyzes and why he takes certain positions, and you can start saying, oh, I take the very same entry and he's noticing it because of these 3 factors, and I'm noticing it because of these other 3 factors. Maybe I can use those factors to help my confluences in my own trades. Maybe I can start looking for my setups at some round psychological numbers as well, anticipating a much larger move than normal because it is a round psychological level. And it just makes sense. When you're a big ass bank, you don't sit there and you go 3336.812. You don't give a fuck. You go 33300 and you just put a round number and press send. Whoever buys it at that round number, you put a round number plus or minus 10. You know, and the majority of your orders are going to get filled at that level, and then you get some filled a little bit higher, some filled a little bit lower, but your average is going to be at that round number. That push. I'm going to move my stop loss up 10 pips. There's 20 pips. That's beautiful.
There it goes.
Let's wait for the next range to be formed, and then I'll move my stop higher. Or you can just take the full closure right there.
Nice.
Damn, that went right to TP. Well, that hit the round psychological number. Let's see what the beat is. He would literally have like a self stop here or some shit on the flip bearish. Look at that drive, gang. Patience fucking pays. You know, when I got in that trade, I was like, did I get in there impulsively? And then I look back and I'm like, nah, that's my setup. Stop being a pussy. Just go to the bathroom. And I dipped. Look at that. Blasting off the screen. Blasting off the fucking screen. Blasting off the fucking screen. I added an extra position in there. That's why I'm closing a little bit earlier. Because technically I made 60 pips of profit, but I had 3 entries, so it was really like 40 pips. Look at that, bro. It's still fucking going. That's beautiful. So we just smoked the previous daily highs, right? We just smoked them. Let's see what happens now. We just hit a very, very, very important level. So let's see what starts happening here. Are we gonna start continuing, or is this thing gonna start to reject? Whatever happened right now, I think maybe Trump news or something. I know he gave Ukraine more bombs, but that was like an hour ago. Is that hitting now? Nah. The round psychological number is the 45.
Yeah, if it gets to 33.45, I was about to say that'd be crazy. But
All right, we tapped it. Let's see, 10 pips, 20 pips. This is the most that you should see. I'm eyeing that up, but I really want to know. I really want to see.
yeah, so
He waits for a closure, but he takes wick entries sometimes. Look at that, bro. Holy shit. That scalp would have been, if you would have had your limit set there, a quick 18. That's not enough for me to risk it. Unless it's like a 5 pip stop, 18 pips. Then I would use like maybe like a five contracts. Just good to know what a target that would have been. I could have held right to that target. No issues whatsoever. Partials at the 40, partials at the 50. Once we broke that 40, that was it. That was gone. Look at that drop. Holy shit. Off the round number. That's pretty cool shit right there, my friend. So there's a lot of volume right now. Let's see what kind of setup is forming right now. The 30-minute just popped up, barely a bottom wick, barely a top wick. We came up to grab orders. We're starting to come back down. And now we're actually dumping off a very, very strong level, where this is the level that where we dumped aggressively before. We broke the previous daily highs. The futures doesn't have a bottom wick on the daily. And now we're starting to come back down. Can we get like a retest of these highs and then a re-break of the low? And then maybe we can take an entry like that, you know, really confirm this is the resistance, and then we can take a sell somewhere down here on our way back down to fill this range. Because if not, our stop loss would be 130 pips before breaking these highs. It's not too bad. For me, at least. I don't know about you guys. But I'm using 0.2 lots, so it's not so bad. I can give myself a lot of room if I'm wrong. A lot of room to manage, get out, take a pineapple. 55.5. Yeah. So we got a little support here. The 1 minute just closed. I'm gonna talk to Chris and see if he can get us a quick slide through the back, a quick picture with the champ, a quick backstage 5 minutes. Hey, yo, these are my cousins. Can you get them?
Dap him up.
Hey, if he says like only 2 people, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. You know, I don't think you're gonna let all 5 of us go in there, bro.
Fuck all 5 of us, just 2 trips. Like, low key, just us 3. And with the fly, we'll get a drink.
You're really gonna do me like that? How do you preferences? Oh, I can't even reset the chart. Are these 4-hour levels? Yeah, that's a 4-hour level. Yeah, I'm gonna have a sell stop here. I have a pretty aggressive sell stop. If we really push down and break the low. Wonder if it keeps pushing. Excuse me. If it rejects right here, bro, and starts breaking the lows, that would be very, very interesting. Close your eyes and buy. Maybe. Oh, look, we have all this hourly in the way. I don't like that. You gotta go? Oh, you're gay. Haircuts are for pussies. I also gotta get a haircut. But I'm probably just gonna wear a hat. Is it? Okay.
And I took a sell on UJ today, and it was the hourly closed bearish below the previous support. So I took a sell, and then it went straight up, and now it's slowly coming back down. I've been watching it all day.
Wait, say it again, say it again.
Oh, I took a sell on USD JPY this morning because the hourly closed below the previous support. So I took it right there because I'm like, oh, okay, it broke. And I should have waited for the next hourly to make a top wick and confirm that it's going to continue down. But I took it on the closure. And then the next 4 hourlies went all the way up. And now it's slowly coming back down. So I've been watching it a lot today. It's on my live account, my Forex account.
Still, it's done for. I deleted that. Let's see what happens. So far, the 10-20 pip portion of the round number is 100% correct. If it money prints here to the downside, I'll turn on I'll reactivate the position. It's looking like it's closing above. Five-minute no top wick.
But how many pips did you get on that trend?
47.
Nice.
I think it, after commissions, it registered like 30 something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I took a break even earlier in the break. When you take a break even, if it slips you or if you accidentally put it like 1 pip lower, you're gonna lose like 3 pips. And then once I entered the other trade, I lost like another 3 or 4 pips because I stacked a little bit more on that one because the commissions are kind of expensive on the micros.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah, I've been
charges you.
thinking after I lost that top one account, I need to either get another one or go live on the live futures account.
The live futures account, you would need like just under $200 for margin per one contract.
Really?
When there's news, it doubles the margin, so you might need 400. when there's like certain economic events, you'll get an email where it's telling you it's doubling the margin. So if you have like $1,000 account and you're trying to take like 2 or 3 positions, you probably won't be able to during certain times. If you have like a $5,000 account, you should probably be able to take whatever you want. Micros at least. You could take, so it would be a $200 of margin, so you could take like 25 positions. Am I tripping? No. Yeah, 25 positions.
Yeah, mine would be small. It'd probably be around 500 or 1,000.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You'll probably be able to open up like 2 positions. Max.
I need to get paid out for some of the engineering work I've done, and then I'd be good. Wait on that.
Fucking. Yeah, bro. Just compounding interest. The thing with smaller accounts, you just gotta risk a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's about compounding and growing it, yeah. But like these, they're having a sale right now, 50% off again.
And which one would you get if you were getting? Did you get like a futures and like instant funded?
Yeah, if it wasn't because these evals were giveaways, I would be buying an instant funded. Cause like eval is $50, the activation fee is $150. That's $200. Let's say it takes you a couple of tries to pass it. You're spending $300 almost anyways. So you might as well just spend the $300 the first time, get the instant funded, and then just take it more seriously because you're not spending $300 over 2 or 3 weeks. You're spending it all at once.
Right. Makes sense. And then at that point, you just gotta do. They have a consistency rule, right?
It's a 20% consistency rule, and you can get paid out minimum $1,000 on the 50K accounts. So like even if you wanted to, you could do like $200 days, $100 days after 5 to like 8 trading days. Withdraw your $1,000, make your money back. The problem is just not blowing it once you get the payout.
Right.
Like I did.
No, I'm with you. I understand. Like I was trading 0.02s on gold on that last account, and then right towards the end, I knew I was close, and that's why I was trying to trade it up. Then I started doing 0.1s, and that's when that one trade hit where I took a buy and it just tanked. So that's what got me on the drawdown. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah, bro. It happens. Like I decided to cut my losses a little bit earlier. I'm adjusting my stop loss, and the last 2 losses that I took, if I would have used my old stop loss, I think that I would have lost 2 or 3 times the amount. And instead of being up 80 pips for the week, I would be down a couple of 100 pips for the week. So I think that all of the management that I did today was perfect. And even the loss that I took today, I don't even remember where I took it. I don't even remember the entry. I even forgot that I took a loss today. Like, it's one of like the few times where I just completely forget. As soon as I took the loss, I didn't even look back at the markets. I just started watching wicks.
Yeah, I'm realizing I need to trade lots small enough to where I set the stop. And then I don't care if it gets hit or not.
So what I did was I lowered my lot size and I said, all right, I'm going to risk 1% of the account with a super small lot size. So that means that I have 200 pips of range to understand whether I'm correct or I'm incorrect. And the majority, and then that was enough to give me data. And then I was in the trades long enough to understand what was going on. And I'm like, all right, it went all the way to my stop loss. Where did I really know it was coming down? At what point was I begging for price to just do a crazy reversal? So some point I was just like, oh, price just needs to reverse now. It's gone. It's gone. And instead of just saying it's gone, well, maybe that should be where my stop loss is.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's like when your analysis fails, that's where you're stopping.
Yeah, and even if it goes back in your direction, eventually it's gonna be one of those where it doesn't go back in your direction, and instead of taking like a 100 pip loss now, you're gonna be taking a 300 or 400 pip loss later, and then all the pips you're saving now, if it's like just giving it back later. Like all the little wins that you're winning now, that one day you take that super big loss, you're just giving it all back.
Oh, for sure.
Like during these markets where in the beginning the whole daily range was 200 pips. So if you were incorrect, you could have a 200 pip stop loss and you could be fine. And you'll still get your 10, 20, 30 pips. Now, the daily ranges are like 500 pips, and when it pulls back, it doesn't even give you an opportunity to get out.
Yeah.
That's why I like 40 pip stops no matter what. Yeah, I feel you. If that's what your setup says. If your setup says like 80% of the time it drives within 40 pips, then you should be having a 40 pip stop.
That's good stuff right there.
But like the other day on stream, we were in drawdown for like 70 pips, and it still came all the way back and hit TP. So for me, I can't do that. Well, my little brother got the car is fully totaled. They're giving him more
He's
than.
a bitch, bro. He's been ignoring me just because the lawyer called me and because she's been calling him and he's not answering.
Oh, that's because David's talked to like 10 lawyers already.
Yeah, he's done. Whatever.
Everybody's telling him the same thing, that because of the way it was and what the insurance is doing, that they're not going to be able to get him any more money. That whatever they're offering him now is probably the best.
He hasn't even talked to my lawyer.
That's because he talked to like 2 other people, and he talked to his boss's lawyer as well.
Even my dad told him to call.
But but they gave him like 3 or 4K over the value of the Kelly Blue Book on the car, paying off the full loan, the deductible, for the insurance, because they did it through his insurance. The other insurance is paying for his medical bills.
I think he got.
So he's gonna call the lawyer one more time, because he's gonna find out if he can threaten to sue the people that are paying the medical bills, and maybe they'll do like a one lump offer for him not to sue, because that's what State Farm did. State Farm said don't sue and we'll give you more money for the car or some shit like that. So I think he had to sign something for State Farm, but he hasn't signed nothing for the other insurance company. But State Farm paid the deductible, gave him more money for the car than it's worth in order to pay for the deductible.
So dumb,
and
he wasn't at fault. Why did he call his insurance? He's so dumb.
Because our insurance sues them, and then their insurance gets the money back.
That's bro. You're losing out on money. I told him you're losing out on money.
Well, he got $4,000.
But he would have gotten like 5G. He got 4,000 on the card. He would have gotten the same 4,000 plus a minimum of 5Gs.
Depends, maybe the other insurance wouldn't have gave him more than the Kelly Blue Book value.
Bro, it doesn't. No, that's not.
Bro, the KBB value for that car was 9,000.
He has gap. Why? You guys are doing all this shit without knowing what you guys are doing. Well, he is. He is literally. He's just doing whatever. Why would he hit up his insurance? He has gap. So even if it wasn't that, he has gap to cover.
No, of course.
And now he can cancel those products and get money back. That's another thing he can do. And him suing has nothing to do with the car. The car is
no, of course not. But the other company is taking full liability for the medical stuff.
Understood.
So that means that I think he can sue them now.
If they have full coverage, right, and they have a $25,000 deductible.
Well, you think they'll give him more money because they're not paying for the car to get fixed?
No, they're gonna give him more money because he's gonna go through the whole process.
No, well.
And you still starting at the break of the
before you go. Gonna go pack and get dinner. Let's see. We have an hourly close coming up in 6 minutes. We have the 15-minute money printer. We have a 5-minute closure coming up. Let's see what this hourly closure does. Beautiful, Hank. Beautiful. He's like, you want to go? You got it, Adam? Got it, bro. Take it easy. This might be the start of the dump here. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm gonna be patient. I'll be right back. Whoa! That volume, baby! Right off that psychological number, 20 pips to the upside before dumping. Exactly 20 pips. That's crazy. 30 seconds left. I would love sells below this level. That would be beautiful. 20W. Nice! 15 seconds in this bitch. This could just be a liquidity graph for the continuation of, so you have to be very careful.
Yeah. Well.
Or it's just gonna fucking fill.
Wow. That's wild.
He would. That's one of those trades where he would have taken anticipating that dump right after. Well, we've dumped all the way. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? We've hit the VWAP. And we've dumped 43 pips. 100 pips would be all the way down here to the initial drive right where it started.
If you have a futures account, like the instant funded futures, there's no 5-minute rule, right?
10-second rule.
10 seconds. Gotcha.
Just close respecting there on the 1 minute. With all the way back. 1 hour close bullish. If this 1 hour flips. And we're just in chop here. We worked right off of 33.40. We just flipped on the hourly and we're coming back down to re-break the lows. I'm gonna have a sell stop if this rebreaks the low. Oh no, not a market execution. How many pips to the open here? We got 40 pips there. This was such a good entry here, but it's so close to the very end of the hourly. How would I have been able to take that? It would have to be like a 1 minute setup and not even worry about the hourly. What's this 5 looking like? Bearish. We got 2 minutes here. This is probably going to be pulling back. The next 5 will have to pull back and then re-break the low for it to be valid. If the next 5 starts pulling back and forming a support, or we start forming support on the 1 minute, then probably not valid. But if we keep making lower lows and lower highs, maybe we'll trickle down and fill the range slowly down. This thing pops for 122 pips. Retraced for 60. I mean, this could be the support that it starts to form. If it is, I think the buy stops are the sell stops are perfectly placed. Yeah, I would have to start coming down here. We gotta respect structure, come down and break the low. If we don't, no valid. Because the rejection would have to look like high, tried to break, failed, came back, retested. We have a triple top. We made a higher high, higher low. Oh, sorry, lower high, lower low. If this is the lower high, the next lower low could be the push down. But if this level here were to flip bullish, continue driving here, instead of activating the sell stop like it did right here, if this keeps flips bullish, then we now have a break of structure here. Structure broke here, the lower low, lower high now made it now broke structure, and if we form a high here, or a high here, and we start breaking it, that's gone. Then my stop loss would be at the daily break of the high. The gold makes people jumpy, me included. And retail is a huge part of the gold market. Close.
Forex already activated me.
Forex broke the lows already.
Yeah.
That means a move is coming on futures. It might slip me. Let's see, I have it at, oh, it activated me perfectly and it did push past a couple of pips. This is the no bottom work here on the hourly that I'm targeting. Say 40 pips. That's the rebreak of the low, closure below, pull back. They should be just a straight fucking dump. This is just so fucking clean, man. Alright, I'm break even here. I closed one position, let the other half run. I was up 20 pips, I closed one position, so I secured 10 pips. Get that rebreak. the first order block on the drive up, we could see wiggle room here. That's why I took partials there. But if this were to dump, it's just going to blow right through this. Form a little resistance here and then blow right through, right to the opening if it really wants to come and bounce back up. Wick down could mean two things: liquidity for the push up or the continuation down. We broke the low, so I'm going to trail my stops here, 10 pips. If it comes back up, I'll secure 20 pips for this trade. I don't think it should. I think we should just dump. Nope, that took me out. So I secured 20. I'm Gucci with that. Oh, and that would have took me out break even anyways. That was a good closure. Yeah, I'm going to call it there, gang. That was 40 on the first one, and then 20 on this one, 60 pips for the night. Almost zero drawdown, just pure profit. That was beautiful. Damn, look, right to my entry and then back down. Oh well. I could have possibly attempted another rebreak of the low, but that's already 2 trades for the night. I'm calling it. That wouldn't be bad now to start reflipping the hourly and start grabbing orders on the hourly, but we don't have a top wick on the current hourly, so tough. See how this hourly is dumping? The previous hourly has no bottom wick. Could be an area where we grab orders and then continue up. Like right here is where we could be grabbing orders before the continuation up. But we calling it. Take it easy, everybody. Wow, it had to pull back right before fucking coming back down. There I would have trailed stops again if you stayed in. What a great fucking session. We lost last week twice, I believe. And this week we haven't taken... Wait, did we lose this week on stream? I don't remember. I gotta go back and update the record, but I don't think so.
I can't remember either.
No, I don't think so. I think we had a 50 pip trade on Monday, a break-even trade on Tuesday, nothing for the second half, and then yesterday when Wix came, we had nothing all night, and then today was 2 trades. I remember now. I updated that to 126. I remember I added it. So we are... That makes back the loss completely because we had made back the loss 1/3 of the loss. And it was like a 200 pip loss. And we made back like 60 pips. And then we won 50 on Monday. So that's half. And then 40. And then 20. So we're down like 20 pips from that loss. And this week was a slow week for Asian session. Very slow for Asian. I only had 2-3 trades all Asian. The rest were break-evens and no trade days. But alright, everybody. First trade taken with you, and they were W's. Hey. This dumps that clean structure. Well, take it easy, everybody. Appreciate you, Zoom Gang, for showing up. Thank you, Jonathan, for showing up. Dr. Holmes, I appreciate you. Have a good night, guys.
Sure, you too. See ya.